Hello, Green Team. So nice to be with you today. It is a very hot June 15th here in Denver, Colorado. And I'm so excited. We have so many cool things to talk about today. So first, I just want to say thank you for being here and thank you for hanging out with us. Um, the first thing that I want to give you kind of a heads up on is we're going to be talking about India's Water Cup, a 45-day Water Cup challenge, which is just totally mind-blowing. But before we talk about that, I want to give you a little bit of background on a few things we have happening. One is we're in the middle of our summer arts fundraiser series. And so Green Team Academy just became a nonprofit the end of May. So we are asking for your support to help us with our primary thing, which is helping 250 teams launch their initiatives during our 2021 challenge. And so we appreciate your support with that. If you decide to make a contribution or volunteer or sponsor, we plant a tree in your honor with Plant for the Planet Philippines, which is part of our climate justice action. So you can today plant a tree, which would be kind of cool. You'll also be entered to win our weekly prize drawing, which is 4 tickets to our Wild and Scenic Film Festival on tour, which is happening on August 3rd. So we have all kinds of films, short films. We have 11 different short films in the course of 2 hours, all stories of empowering stories of youth and Black, Indigenous, people of color, here in the US and around the world that will really knock your socks off. I think everybody that is on our team watching these is like, I keep crying when I'm watching. They're so beautiful. So we're excited to share that with you on August 3rd. The links to all this are in the notes there. And the next thing is that along with our theme of India, we know that right now India is really suffering. The people of India are really suffering with COVID. And so tonight we are doing an event with Parikh. She's the young co-founder, one of the co-founders of Glow and Gather. And she's going to be doing a DIY, how to make your own bath bombs and bath salts demo. And so we're doing all this. So this week is our India theme, and we would really appreciate your donations of any amount. Even $5 would be awesome. And we're going to split the proceeds with Sewa International, who is doing COVID relief. So we're partnering with Glow and Gather to really get the word out and encourage you to share a few bucks with us this week to support Green Team Academy and Sewa International. Okay, so that was my little intro there. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, this might be one that you definitely want to check out the video as well. So I'm going to be sharing some different videos and graphics as we're talking through this. So let me go ahead and share my screen and get over here to just let me give you a little bit of background. One reason that we wanted to do this was we're doing the 2021 International Climate Action Challenge. And the whole idea is passion to action in 90 days. And a lot of people are like, Joan, that is too short. Like, we can't really accomplish anything in 90 days. And I know that that's not true because we have helped some folks get their initiatives going in a weekend. So 90 days is plenty of time. But if you want to see some really on the ground, amazing stuff happening in 45 days. That's why I wanted to bring you the information about the Pawnee Foundation and the work they're doing with this 45-day water cup. So they started in 2016, and the whole idea is that there are lots of places in India where the landscape has just been denuded so much that there's drought. It's hard to grow anything. People are having to have water trucked into their villages, lots of migration of people leaving, and it's just been devastating for people kind of on all levels. And so a lot of these things that they're teaching come from the field of permaculture, or which permaculture is really based on traditional ecological knowledge. But so what they do is they train people, and it's average everyday people that actually take the action. And as I say, at the heart of this competition is Shramadan, which is voluntary labor. So instead of giving people a bunch of money and trying to come in and do a project to them or for them, this is individuals actually taking part and making this change themselves. So you can see that they started with 116 villages. By 2019, it was 4,706 villages. And the other thing is they've taken this now to the next level, to this prosperous village. Is their next level of the challenge. But I think this 45-day water cup is a huge, great idea, a great place to start, to just get your mind thinking that when average people pitch in, it's amazing what can happen. And I'm also thinking this is kind of a nice, beautiful vibe to be sending back to the people of India, to say we're with you and we see what you're doing, and supporting you. So what I wanted to do here was show you a little bit of a video. So the Pawnee Foundation has a ton of videos on its YouTube channel. Many of them are in Hindi, so when I go to play them, you're not going to be able to understand unless you're watching and reading the subtitles. So there are also some really good ones by Andrew Millison. So Andrew Millison is a permaculture professor. And so he went and documented a lot of what is going on. And so I really recommend his YouTube channel, Andrew Millison. And I'm going to show just a little bit of one of his so you get an idea. And folks that are listening, these are these pictures of people, just hundreds of people that are out there digging and moving dirt around. So let's go ahead and watch a bit of this.
Last episode, we took a journey with the Pawnee Foundation and learned about their competition between thousands of villages to see who can install the most amount of water harvesting structures in a 45-day period. In this episode, we journey again with the Pawnee Foundation's chief advisor, Dr. Avinash Pol, to the village of Velu, located in an arid area in the state of Maharashtra that receives around 250 to 300 millimeters, or 8 to 12 inches of rainfall per year. Velu was the first place winner of the very first Water Cup competition held in 2016. This was a huge deal for them, and when I visited more than 3 years after their victory, they were continuing to work on their groundwater recharge projects. This part of India receives nearly all of its rainfall during the 3-month monsoons. They can then be dry for the entire 9 months remaining in the year. So all of that water they have for drinking and farming comes in a short period of time and needs to last all the way through the long dry season. Once creeks and ponds have dried up after the rains, people are mostly getting their water for their homes and crops by pumping from hand-dug wells. This groundwater is the lifeblood of the village. When wells run dry, villagers have to import water in tanker trucks or migrate away in search of work until the monsoons come again. This is why recharging groundwater is the focus of the Water Cup competition. When water harvesting structures are built that soak the monsoon rains into the ground, groundwater resources increase very quickly. And this is what has happened in the village of Velu since they won the competition in 2016. We traveled over bumpy roads to Velu village to see the unique design they have developed for recharging the groundwater table. We arrived at the village where we were met by a gang of older men on motorcycles who would take us throughout the watershed to see their work.
So right now we are in the village Velu, which is in Koregaon Tehsil and district Satara.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. But I just wanted to give you a little taste of what we're talking about is that in this 45-day water cup, that people in different villages are getting trained on how to do water harvesting. And they go in and by hand are digging these, what we would call contour swales. So something that stays along the same elevation and is a place where when water comes through, it can gather and recharge the groundwater and increase the amount of water at the surface level as well. And as if you dive into more of these videos, you're going to see how it just completely transforms their whole economy. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of remind you of this idea that what the idea that you have for improving your community is you're the expert. You know what needs to be done. And with a little bit of help, you can transform your community. And so the 45-day water cup is an example of how to do that. So I hope that you will Google that and just dive in and watch a ton of those videos from Andrew Millison, as well as the Pawnee Foundation. There's another great one that I saw, but it's in Hindi. So it was not going to be great on the podcast, but it's a couple of twins who went to school in another village where they did the water cup, and they came back to their village and said, hey, why don't we do the same kind of thing here? So these are kids, school kids that were able to, again, transform their communities. So that's my message today, is that you are the expert on your community. You have what you need to begin the transformation. You don't need to wait for governments or big corporations or cities to figure this out for you. You can take action and lead the way. If you're interested in being part of our 2021 International Climate Action Challenge, then check it out now at climateactionchallenge.net. If you want to be part of it, then you just need to apply by August 1st. And we do have scholarships, so anybody that's interested can be part of it. All right, so it's a short podcast today, just to kind of blow your mind, blow any of the self-perceived obstacles that we put up for ourselves. That whatever you're dreaming of, you can do it, and we're here to support you. And I hope that you will support us also with a donation during our Summer Arts fundraiser. And especially this week when we're sharing any proceeds that come in with Sewa International, who is doing the COVID relief with India. All right, so thanks so much. I hope to see you at more of our events coming up, and have a beautiful summer day. And remember, the time for action is now, because there is no planet B. See you soon. Bye.